soda sans sucre. Petit caf. Ah oui, voilà les ambiances là. Alors attends, faut que je mette le Roomba à roomber. Le Roomba est hors ligne. Quoi? La batterie s'est déchargée. Comment ça la batterie du Roomba est déchargée? C'est pas chargé ce con? Ah vas-y, j'avais dû le décaler, il s'est pas chargé ce con. Fais chier. Slay the Spire, c'est le bad, mais c'est très bien. Et j'avais la rage depuis 1 an ou 2 qui est sorti, qui n'était pas en VE, en STFR. Donc je profite maintenant qu'il l'ait en STFR pour le faire. Mais c'est très bien, c'est genre extrêmement bien. Par contre faut que je bois parce que je vais encore parler de zinzin. Le héros et la princesse. Salut YouTube. Encore un jeu.
You're on a path in the woods.
Oh.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
se tient dans le sous-sol.
is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Vous êtes ici pour
If
Oxyre.
you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Vous voulez qu'on laisse le narrateur ou vous voulez que je vous narre tout le jeu? Bon, c'est bon, je le laisse faire. Explorer la fin du monde. Vous pouvez être plus précis. Avez-vous envisagé qu'elle pourrait causer la fin du monde uniquement parce qu'elle est enfermée? L'exécution d'une princesse est un peu immorale, vous ne trouvez pas? Personne d'autre ne peut s'en charger? Laissez tomber, je refuse de faire ça. Vous ne vous êtes pas dit que je n'étais pas contre la fin du monde? Et si je le fais, vais-je recevoir une quelconque récompense? Ah d'accord, merci de me dire ce que je dois faire. Génial, j'ai toujours rêvé d'exécuter une souveraine. Vive la révolution. Avancer vers le chalet, tourner les talons. Bon, il y a déjà trop là. Ben, je m'en vais. Vive la révolution.
That's the spirit.
À la bonne heure.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
La cam est devant les choix. Ah. Je le mets là. C'est bon pour vous? Ok, elle est là-bas. Une fois au chalet.
Before you go any further.
Je tiens à vous prévenir. Oula.
She will lie, she will
Elle
cheat,
n'hésitera pas à mentir ou à tricher.
everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Faut pas croire la princesse. Tout à fait.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Le devoir, c'est... Voilà, nous, on sauve les princesses, faut pas les tuer, quoi.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Entrez dans le chalet.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note
Une table en
is a
bois.
plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Une lame immaculée.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Prendre la lame. Bah oui.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Je descends au sous-sol.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below.
Ok.
This
Non. L'ambiance est oppressante, l'air est lourd et humide et une odeur de pourriture émane du vieux bois. Si la princesse est vraiment ici, l'Oxyre serait une sorte de
her
libération.
voice carries up the stairs.
On l'entend.
Who's there?
Oula.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge
Oula.
down here.
Oula. Ça va?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Je viens prendre des nouvelles. Ça va? Je crois que je suis là pour vous abattre. Je descends.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the
Allez là,
stairs
princesse.
and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Oh là là, le merdier.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Mais pourquoi on le croit,
And
lui?
there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Oui. N'importe quoi? Comment vous pouvez imaginer une chose pareille? Je suis pas venu, je suis démasqué, je suis effectivement là pour vous tuer. Non. Je n'ai pas encore pris ma décision, je suis venu pour discuter, prendre votre courage et avancer. À demain et avancer. J'avance.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Oula, oula.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Mais pourquoi elle est... Et si elle nous tuait? Vous êtes certaine qu'elle n'a pas d'arme? Je suis désolé, peut-on au moins discuter? La cam, elle cache quand ça parle. Oh! Là! Non! Là, non! Là! Là, ça cache les sous-titres. Oh! Là! Oxyre la princesse. Bah voilà, Oxyre la princesse, fin du jeu, merci à tous. Allez hop!
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her.
Oh. This
Mort.
is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Bah ouais.
So she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Ok, bah
But
GG.
is it over? Really over?
Évidemment, elle est morte. Mais sûr que non, c'était trop facile. Bah oui, c'est bon.
Yes, exactly. It's over.
Oui, une traduction maintenant pour ça je fais le jeu. Incroyable.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Allez hop!
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in, and help ease your guilty conscience.
Merci pour le jeu.
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Hop là. Juste une fois au chalet, quoi. Allez hop.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only
Bon
a
travail.
world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
Le néant. Ah.
Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened?
La voix du héros. Ah, c'est nous.
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy.
Ouais.
You'll be happy.
Oui, oui. Je m'attendais à une meilleure fin après avoir sauvé le monde. Ok. C'est des conneries. Sors-moi
What's
de là.
done is done, and there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Mais on est enfermé là-dedans avec la... Ouais.
Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever,
Bah non.
right?
Je suis heureux, nous sommes heureux. Heureux, ça risque pas. T'as pas une idée comment on se tire d'ici? Bien sûr que je suis heureux, je me sens bien ici. Nous sommes heureux. Non, non, je suis pas heureux, moi. Comment on se tire de là?
But you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade
Oh,
to
non,
get
non,
out of this.
Non, bah non.
I can hear everything you say, little voice.
Oui,
There's
mais
only
là,
one thing
là,
that
vous voyez
would
pas
want
les
you to use
sous-titres, là.
that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. Do you hear that?
Oh!
It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Je suis prêt à tout pour sortir de cet enfer, t'as raison, cette idée me répugne, je vais rester encore ici, les bras croisés, au moins un petit peu. Pourquoi il y a explorer là? Si on ne servait de la lame, qui nous dit que ça ne signerait pas notre arrêt de mort? Non, non, mais ça, non, on va pas se foutre en l'air, hein. Vas-y,
How
vas-y.
astute.
J'ai envie de voir ce
You
que
are
c'est explorer.
absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it.
Non.
In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle,
Eclipse,
are we
j'ai pas
even
vu.
really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work.
Avec la main. Oui, bon, allez, on
Little
y va.
Voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Quelle petite voix. Mais il y a un truc bizarre avec les... J'espère que tu ne te trompes pas, je l'aurais plutôt mauvaise si on mourait. Pas question de risquer ma vie. Je suis prêt pour tout.
If we
Bon, j'ai confiance, vas-y.
die, you can yell at me all you want.
Si on meurt vraiment, tu pourras me hurler
I
dessus.
made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever.
Oh.
For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is
ça va.
dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Ok, ça va. Elle va pas venir nous casser la gueule.
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die.
Ok.
The end. Nice knowing you.
Allez. Hop. Chapitre 2, le spectre.
You're on a path in the woods.
Un
And at
chalet.
the end of that path,
Une princesse se tient dans le sous-sol.
And in the basement of that cabin is you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Espèce de salaud, cette fois je compte pas me laisser faire. J'ai une horrible impression de déjà-vu. Ah, on est bloqué dans une boucle. Attendez, on a déjà vécu ça. Oui mais non. Mais je me suis donné la mort, qu'est-ce que je fais ici? Tourner les talons. Je ne serai pas War.
Tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Oui, oui.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Non, mais on va pas la retuer, hein. Admettons que je dise la vérité et que tout cela soit déjà produit. Pourquoi devrais-je vous écouter?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time for me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Ah si, on t'a écouté et on est mort.
Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves.
Tout à fait. Voix de l'insensible. C'est quoi voix de l'insensible?
Well, if you killed yourself,
il y a le narrateur, il y a moi et il y a voix de l'insensible.
I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making a rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Mais non, nous on est voix du héros.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Je sais pas, tu poses trop de questions là.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
J'ai envie de lui parler maintenant, la princesse. Mais c'est le début des embrouilles.
It doesn't matter because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying.
Faut éliminer tout le monde là.
Just stay focused, will you?
Ok. Et si on se casse? Non mais on va... C'est le début des embrouilles, mais c'est ce que je veux, hein, veut qu'on lui parle.
Before you go any further.
N'écoutez pas la princesse, voilà.
She will cheat.
On connaît, on connaît.
She won't be a problem.
Ah par contre... Ah c'est notre nous d'avant, de la boucle d'avant peut-être? Voix de l'insensible, elle posera aucun problème. Oh, attends.
The interior of the cabin is cold.
Ça a changé ça.
A soft odor of dirt permeating the air.
Genre si on tombe amoureux de la princesse, on va avoir la voix de l'amoureux après?
You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge.
Je peux regarder dans le...
The blade is your implement. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Prendre la lame.
You take the blade from the table.
S'approcher du miroir.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Ok. Essuie le miroir.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Ah.
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
On a un furie?
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged. Very different.
Ouais, il y a des...
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition. You haven't died. You certainly haven't already slain the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Putain, depuis le temps que le jeu, il me trigger et que j'ai envie de le faire, là.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky
Oui, c'est recouvert de poussière et de
stairwell.
tapisserie, là.
Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel
Il
it
m'intrigue,
settle
le
into
jeu.
your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally.
Ah, c'est nous d'avant.
As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely
C'est pas
dead.
nickel. Par contre, les murs sont
It's
différents,
just
là.
like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish
Ah.
your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Eh.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal
Ça va?
grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh. Wow. How
Putain, il est tellement blasé, notre pote, du
terrifying.
début.
What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
Ah bah oui, j'imagine, oui.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
Ah.
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless
craquer la-
yet real
craquer
enough
le
that her
cou.
icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again.
Encore tué? Mais non, mais c'est un fantôme. Oxyre la princesse. Mais non, bah là, on va retourner dans la sensible. On va attendre de voir. Mais là, elle va nous tuer. Bon, j'attends de
I
voir.
see you brought that annoying knife again.
Oui.
So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Non, mais je m'en veux. C'est exactement ce que j'essaie de vous expliquer dans les bois. Tout cela a déjà eu lieu. Je vous ai exécuté. À quoi vous jouez? Pourquoi vous n'êtes pas morte? Savez-vous pourquoi vous êtes revenu? Oh là là! Oh là là! Oh là là! Oh là là! Arrêtez de jouer aux victimes, vous m'avez menacé la dernière fois. Je regrette de vous avoir exécuté. Vous voulez ma mort? Vous voulez que je me mette fin à mes jours? Je suis désolé. Je peux faire quelque chose pour me racheter? Qu'est-ce que vous attendez de moi? Tiens,
I
ouais.
just want the same thing I've always wanted.
Rentrez chez
Go
moi.
home. but this place won't let me go. At least, not alone.
Elle parle dans ma tête, là.
I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything would be fine.
Alors, faut se rappeler qu'au début, ils disent que ça peut être... Elle ment, hein.
Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things.
It'd be dull, anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
Ce serait barbant de toute façon, alors autant faire un choix, histoire de rajouter un peu de piment.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hit
Ouais,
your
non mais oui,
mind.
non mais voilà. Plan HUC.
After all,
Ah non, 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 non. Oui, bah voilà.
Absolutely not.
Oui, bah non, en
Is
fait.
she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
Ah, faut pas qu'on se fasse posséder.
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
Now isn't that an interesting
Ah,
thought?
il dit nous, hein.
We could finally bring her face to face with him.
Avec
I
lui.
wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so
Qui, lui?
badly.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Il y a trop de questions. Si je vous laisse entrer, est-ce que je serai toujours maître de moi-même? Non mais on va pas se faire posséder par... La situation serait juste provisoire, n'est-ce pas?
if I'm able to, but for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long,
Non, non, mais ça ira.
long,
Non merci.
long time.
Don't much like the sound of that. It's crowded enough in here as is.
On est déjà assez nombreux là-dedans.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
Non mais non, non, non. Et si je refuse?
Then I won't hit your rod.
Bah voilà, bah reste là. Vous voulez pas me posséder? Si je dis non, vous ne pouvez pas me posséder.
I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you.
Ah vas-y. Oh vas-y. Dis.
It'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Bah non, hein, vraiment pas en vrai.
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
Mais voilà, on est déjà, voilà, on entend déjà des voix.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
Si je vous laisse rentrer, est-ce que je serai toujours maître de moi? Non mais déjà je commence à... Non, voilà, non. Non mais elle va forcer, si je dis non. Je dois y réfléchir. Avant que j'accepte de faire quoi que ce soit, voilà, parlons un peu.
You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought?
On est tué sans même y réfléchir, c'est glaçant. Oui, bah.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over.
She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is...
Oui, il faut pas écouter nos émotions. Je ne suis pas glaçant, je suis juste stupide. Con comme un manche à balai. Qu'est-ce qui m'a pris de croire tout ce qu'on m'a dit? Non, mais commence pas à te faire manipuler, là. Vous m'avez pas répondu.
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
Mais pourquoi tu veux sortir? Qu'allez-vous faire si je vous aide?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt.
Non mais oui, non
Maybe I'll haunt you.
Non. Non, non, non.
It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Foutu.
Especially when someone is dead.
Hein? Je suis pas mort,
She
moi.
pulls back with a playful giggle.
Ah si, je suis mort. Enfin, l'autre, enfin pas le héros, mais l'autre voix.
Living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
Oh. Vous n'avez toujours pas répondu à ma question. Est-ce que votre évasion scellerait la fin du monde?
It does.
Oui.
We're not asking you.
On t'a pas
You've heard
sonné.
your whole speech already.
I really don't know.
Elle ment.
I'm not lying to you.
Arrête, tu
I
mens.
promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. I'm not so sure endings are real. I don't know.
Pourquoi je lui parle?
I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave.
Allez, salut, hein. Oxyre la princesse. Si vous êtes mort, je n'ai plus rien à faire ici, non? Je crois que je vais partir. Bon, j'ai bien réfléchi à la question, la réponse est non. Je vais vous laisser vous sortir d'ici, laisser la princesse vous posséder. Non, mais c'est tentant, mais... Bon, les amis, je suis à court d'idées.
We could
Ah,
always try.
allez, démerdez-vous.
It's worked for us so far.
Donc oui, lui, il veut re-oxyre.
She's a ghost.
Who says ghosts are immune to violence?
Ah, mais lui, il fait pas des fous, hein, l'insensible, là.
Common sense?
There's nothing common or sensible about common sense. Action and observation are the only things that matter.
Fine. Then let me observe that the acts of killing her and killing ourselves haven't got us much of anywhere. We're still back in this cabin, we're still dealing with her, only now she has a good reason to hate us.
Elle a une bonne raison de nous détester, à
I
ça.
suppose you have a point.
I don't know. Maybe we do what she wants. Maybe we let her possess us and...
Et sinon, ouais, voilà, on se laisse posséder, on détruit le monde entier, et puis voilà, la vie est
Could be
belle.
something different.
Absolutely not. If you walk her out of here, she's going to end the world.
Après, on
Is
sait pas,
that
hein.
really so bad?
Ouais, au moins, on se marra bien, quoi.
Yes, it is by its very definition.
But those are the only options, aren't they?
En vrai.
Violence or
Parce que là, on se fait chier là-dedans, là. En vrai, allez, viens, vas-y, viens, on va faire ça ensemble. Je vous ai exécuté.
I don't feel very bad, but I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only
On
mostly
l'a pas
killed
assez
me.
tué.
Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to, not the one with all the answers. Or any.
But we're not a ghost.
Nous ne sommes pas un fantôme.
Unless we are?
Bah non,
Maybe that's why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead.
non, on n'est pas mort.
Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful
Putain, heureusement qu'on n'a pas
one.
fait le jeu en anglais, hein. Cauchemar.
Maybe we should throw it out entirely.
Bon, ça suffit. Votre cadavre? Regardez, il est là ton
The
cadavre là.
princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should be. There doesn't need to be a static truth.
Mais du coup, je suis curieux de voir si on la tue pas directement. Ça y est, j'ai déjà envie de voir d'autres embranchements du jeu, J-Pep. Vous m'avez menacé la dernière fois.
Yeah, you brought a knife with you. Was I supposed to just welcome you with open arms when you obviously had stabbing on the mind?
Ça aurait pu servir à autre chose, couper du pain.
But it wasn't. You can't blame me for threatening a would-be knife-wielding murderer. Especially when that would-be knife-wielding murderer became an actual knife-wielding murderer.
C'est vrai. C'est exactement ce que j'essaie de vous expliquer dans les bois, tout a déjà eu lieu. C'est pourquoi vous êtes revenu. Bon, on va peut-être arrêter de tourner autour du pot, hein. Et là, je la retue. Non mais après, si je la tue 2 fois, elle va vraiment m'en vouloir, hein. Pensez pas? Je pense que si on y retourne une 3e fois, elle va me posséder. Bon, j'oxyde.
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air.
Ah bah oui.
No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
Bon bah foutu, hein. Bon bah vas-y, possède-moi.
You're adorable when you're confused.
Oh.
But I didn't say you could touch me. Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
Non mais c'est bon, vas-y viens. Auxire la princesse en mettant du cœur à
You
l'ouvrage.
swing at the princess once more, and once more your blade cuts through nothing as she disappears.
Faut partir, madame.
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs, looking you over with grim disappointment. She draws in close.
Non.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, killer. I was willing to ignore everything you did to me so we could get out of here, together. All I ever wanted was to leave this place. All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she stares into you.
Violence is the only language you speak.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes?
Uh-huh.
Nothing happens.
Et voilà.
Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't.
Tout va bien.
Enfin.
Bah voilà, nickel. Ça va? Loupé. La fixer en
You
silence.
can't be sure if you first hear or feel
Oh, elle a trop la
what happens
rage.
next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is.
Quoi?
The horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor.
Auxire la princesse ou mourir. Je tue.
You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her neck.
Ah, bah oui, on arrive, vu qu'elle nous a connectés. Elle sait comment dire, elle sait matérialiser.
But it's too little, too late. In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly. Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
Salut!
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
La revenante.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again.
Oula, le bois, il est bizarre, le bois.
Stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start
On a fait la
again.
peau.
She kills us as a goddamn ghost. We start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in
La voix du
circles just
revanchard.
for the sake of it.
On a trop la rage.
Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right
Mais du coup,
answer.
est-ce qu'on a l'autre voix? On a qu'une voix à chaque fois ou on a deux?
And what
On
if there
stack les
isn't?
voix.
Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Okay, so you've already been here. Twice.
Oui, on est venu 2 fois. Vas-y, on y va.
Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any
faire
scenario
l'inverse. Si.
where you would have started over after slaying the princess.
Comment il ment trop le narrateur.
Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell, did you do that?
Pourquoi on a fait ça?
Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us.
Ah si, il est là! Voix de l'insensible! Oh putain, il y a tout le monde.
That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been
Oh, le
given
bordel.
a happy ending.
Il y a notre première itération, notre deuxième itération et le héros maintenant. Et le narrateur.
The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy.
Ah non, on n'était
That's why
pas
we killed
content.
ourselves. It was awful. Yes, and then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all...
Ah, là, c'est la deuxième itération.
Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds
sûr,
like
hein,
it
le narrateur,
almost
on sait pas.
worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish. All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something.
Oui, faisons des trucs. Je suis bien d'accord avec le premier, moi. Pourquoi on devrait l'aider, oui, déjà? Le même narrateur que celui des boucles précédentes. Vous avez rapidement accepté le fait que nous n'étions pas à notre coup d'essai. Nous l'avons oxyse, elle nous a supprimés et aucun des scénarios ne nous a souri. Si nous sommes condamnés à répéter cette boucle à l'infini, nous finirons tôt ou tard par la libérer. Alors autant y aller maintenant. Ça se passe quoi si on va pas au chalet?
Then she finds a way out on her own.
Eh ben tant pis, bonne chance.
Of course she...
On s'en fout, pourquoi c'est notre problème? C'est pas mon problème. Good for her si elle arrive à sortir.
Only we don't have to see her. That's got to be better, right? No, it's strictly worse. But she can't kill us out here. Why would staying out of killing distance be worse if she's getting out regardless? Because it's cowardly, for starters.
On s'en
And because the
fout.
unknown is always worse than the known.
Faut pas jouer les héros, hein.
But really, all you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options. The only solution worth considering is slaying her, and whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that.
Non mais le narrateur,
Delusion.
il est bizarre.
If you already managed to end her in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong. More rules, more rhetoric. Since when is there a wrong way to slay her? I'm sick of it. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
Ah, on peut redevenir la princesse, là. On se casse. En vrai, il faudra qu'on teste de se casser à un moment donné. Bon, vas-y. Je suis curieux, Ma curiosité...
It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free.
C'est vrai, ça. Hein. Le narrateur, il nous saoule, hein.
You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to cry.
J'aime trop l'insensé, par contre. Essayez d'avoir recours à la psychologie inversée. Vous avez vraiment laissé tomber. Non, vas-y, rentre, vas-y.
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward.
Non, ça... De la part d'un et d'autre, des rideaux pendent devant les hautes fenêtres.
The only furniture of note is... That's what's strange. Is it the mirror?
Le miroir.
The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Ah oui, il est pas là, la lame.
Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go.
Bah, allons-y.
Blade on
Oui, moi je suis un peu comme lui, là. Je relate avec l'insensible. Imaginons qu'il y a bien un miroir au bout de ce couloir et que pour l'instant il nous bloque la vue. Qu'est-ce qui se cache? Il se trouve quoi derrière? Non mais vas-y, go.
You slowly make your way.
On se posera des questions plus tard.
That awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over.
Oui, réel.
You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
Alors, l'autre fois, on a touché le miroir, il n'y a pas de miroir. Hein.
What are the odds she's waiting for us right now? Just out of sight, on the other side of that glass.
Pour le prank.
You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
Voilà. Pas de miroir.
Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, kid?
Oh.
Staring into the void, thinking about what it'd be like to die again. I know exactly how you feel.
Elle est où?
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock
Elle est
for
en bas.
one long, frozen moment. Your bones snap.
Crac. Cric-croc.
Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
Do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake.
Non mais je le ferai plus, madame. J'ai compris que ça marchait pas.
Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what?
Je suis nulle part, oui.
I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take
On
your
parle de votre
body,
corps.
and I'm going to walk it out of here.
Oui, bah oui.
And you, you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just
Ah bah elle va nous parler encore après.
I say we let her do it. It's something different.
On devrait la laisser faire. Bah de toute façon on n'a pas le choix là.
Do we even have a choice?
Ouais voilà.
You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade?
Bah allez-y madame, hein. De toute façon on est déjà 4 donc...
Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
Incapable de me posséder sans mon accord.
Now is then. This is now.
Ah oui, nouvelle règle. Je comprends. J'ai jamais voulu faire de mal, madame. Je suis une victime, moi, madame. Si vous me possédez comme vous ne voudrez pas mieux que moi, non. Oui, on s'en fout, ça. Vous êtes vraiment obligé de vous emparer de mon corps? On peut pas ouvrir la porte? Oui, bon, elle nous en veut. Oh, c'est bon. Faut du passé.
Oh, we're past the point of compromise. I'm taking your body, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Allez, les revanchards. Quand nous aurons laissé... Oui.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess.
Non mais moi je m'en fous moi.
Like this.
Moi je voulais pas la libérer hein.
You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up.
Elle va nous grailler, mais on est en train de s'embrouiller avec Pipo et Mario dans ma tête, quoi.
Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul.
Debout!
You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel...
Oui, bah je me lève, c'est bon.
It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
Ah! Aïe aïe aïe, ah le bruit.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. Flip the table.
How do you do that? You don't have a will to wield. Your soul is inflamed with courage.
That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss.
Que j'étais dans l'abîme, jette-toi dans le canal.
Move now.
Your body,
Crac.
still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
It's not that bad. The pain feels good.
Ah, elle est contente en plus. Hein. Perverse. Je me jette dans le canal ou je sors du chalet? Non mais vas-y, on sort.
You
Hein.
toss the last of your will aside and surrender to the
Oui,
princess.
oui, vas-y, on s'en va.
Guess that's that. An end is an end. Let's see what it has in store for us.
This is all I wanted. If it will be a mercy for you, I can do everything.
Ouais, voilà, allez, ça va être bien là.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle
ça va pas bien,
ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world.
Oui, on y est là, ça y est.
But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's getting
même
further
s'éloigner.
away.
Je traînerai ce corps jusqu'à ce qu'il n'en reste plus que de la bouillie. Ah bah yes.
Please, just let her out.
Oui, bah vous allez partir là.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The
Bon, bah
hallway
c'est
gets
bon, on peut pas
even-
sortir. Bah, jette-toi dans le canal. Vos descriptions ne pourront pas me contraindre à la soumission. La porte est à 2 pas.
It really is, isn't it?
I walked to it. I placed your bloody hand on the door. I made you twist the handle.
Isn't saying all of this his job?
Je crois que c'est à lui de dire les événements. Il a disparu. Ah, il n'y a plus le narrateur. En même temps, le narrateur, il nous a fait chier, hein. Si on n'avait pas écouté le narrateur depuis le début, on serait pas là.
He really is, isn't he?
Ah, chouette.
I had a
Donne-moi.
feeling you could deal with him for us.
I did nothing. He dealt with himself.
This is it then. The big moment. I just hope it's a way out.
The handle clicked as we pushed forward.
J'avançais, hein.
The air is different here.
Mais dès que vous franchissez le seuil de le chalet, vous ressentez un nouveau déchirement brutal, un supplice qui vous meurtrit l'âme. Vous voilà à nouveau dissocié de celle qui s'était nichée dans le tréfonds de votre corps, coupé de tout ce qui n'appartenait pas à votre personne.
We're us again.
Ah, c'est bon, elle est partie?
How interesting.
Trop cool.
We actually won.
Bah voilà.
didn't we?
Et l'autre en plus, le narrateur il est parti, c'est cool ça.
What is happening to me?
Allez hop, tu dégages là. Ah, c'est Jujutsu Kaisen, ça je connais. Vous n'avez pas l'occasion de lui répondre, quelque chose l'emporte, laissant à sa place un objet d'une autre nature.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Oh non, non,
There's
non.
that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
On retourne. Le narrateur a disparu.
Yes.
Ah,
Does
chouette.
that mean the world ended? He was never going to outlast us. Good riddance.
J'ignore où elle est partie. Non mais on s'en fout d'où elle est partie en vrai. Je crois que je suis censé regarder dans ce miroir. Je m'approche du miroir.
Don't do.
Le miroir ne vous a jamais fait peur avant. L'ignorer. Non, on va aller voir le miroir là.
Now it feels. I don't know. It's
C'est la
gotta
fin.
Do something to
Il va nous
us.
faire du mal.
Ignore the cowards. You have.
Ouais, il faut écouter l'insensible. C'est le GOAT. Vous vous approchez du miroir, et là, jumpscare. Je me regarde. Vous tendez la main dans un silence absolu, les voix sont parties. Le miroir est toujours là. Il est temps que vous découvrez ce qui s'y cache. C'est moi. Vous vous retrouvez seul dans un espace complètement vide. Il n'y a pas un bruit. Avancez vers le chalet. C'est le chalet, ça? C'est quoi, ça? Approchez du chalet.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of
pas
a
le chalet,
fragile
ça.
vessel.
Qui êtes-vous?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Je suis le héros, moi. Les lumières solitaires? Quelle est ma véritable nature? Je suis une personne.
A person, a set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oui, non, mais on s'en fout, ça. Oh là là. C'est la fin du monde? Laissez-la partir. Connaissez-vous le narrateur? Ah!
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Nico Robin, JPEP.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Ah ça y est, il y a une romance là, il y a un début de romance là. Wow. Attaquer, non, 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 alors attaquer, non. Attaquer, on fait plus, hein. On se connaît?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Attaquer, non, hein. Ok. Non, on n'attaque pas. C'est la princesse?
She is part of me.
Oui, il y a bien une ou deux mains là qui doit être la princesse là. Vous avez toujours été la princesse ou vous la forcez?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
C'est vous qui m'avez... Ah, c'est vous le narrateur?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Oula, elle sourit là. On fait quoi maintenant? On se fait une bouffe?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Oh, c'est la true ending. Si tu fais toutes les endings, t'as la true ending. Qu'est-ce que je vais oublier?
Everything, until we meet again.
Vous croyez pas que je trouve un moyen de vous tuer?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Oh là là. Combien d'autres fragments?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite.
Oh la brasse.
The rest will find their own way home.
Si je vous aide, est-ce que c'est réellement ce que vous comptez faire?
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Oh là.
You won't.
Le monde autour de vous s'obscurcit. Le héros et la princesse.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay...
On recommence. Vous pouvez passer les dialogues déjà rencontrés en appuyant sur la touche Tab. Ou la touche R1. Bon. Alors, Oxyr, ça n'a pas marché.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Ouais, je me casse. J'ai le morceau, bon c'est d'accord, je vais aller au chalet. Non. Oui, je sais très bien où je vais.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation.
Immoral.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
On se casse.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the
On se casse pas alors.
How can...
Je fais encore demi-tour.
Really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation.
Ce chantage affectif ne me poussera pas à la faire, hein. Tout le monde devrait mourir. Voilà ce qui arrive quand on m'abandonne dans un bois. Je vais pas lever la main sur la princesse.
Gauche phrasing and completely ignores
oui,
the
bon,
bigger
vas-y.
picture.
Okay, j'ai compris,
Your task is to but fine. You turn around and trek back
voilà,
down
on
the
s'en va.
path you came. Oh, would you look at that?
Bon. C'est rien de lutter, n'est-ce pas?
There's
Allez, hop,
always
vas-y, on va au chalet.
We can't
Juste
just
une fois
go
alors. Hein.
through-
Allez, entrez dans le chalet. Bon. Alors, Oxyre, ça a pas marché.
The interior of the cabin is almost entire.
Je prends pas la lame.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen. Her voice softly carries.
Hello?
Oui, je suis là.
Hypnotizing. Don't let.
Je viens prendre des nouvelles.
It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Mais non, madame. Bon, on a essayé d'être méchants, on va essayer d'être gentils.
Eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the
Ça va très mal se
far
passer.
wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a
Non, mais
threat
te laisse
to
pas avoir
anyone?
par l'apparence, par contre.
I
Pitié.
am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Oui, bien sûr, madame. Un instant, prenons le temps de discuter.
Okay.
Vous appelez comment?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Ok.
Is Princess her
Princess.
name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
C'est rigolo, ça. Je ne sais rien de vous, mais j'imagine qu'on vous a renfermé ici pour une bonne raison.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever.
Eh, le
she
narrateur,
comes
là.
up with.
Votre princesse, c'est votre prénom. Non, mais comment vous avez fait pour manger et boire s'il y a personne qui est
I
venu?
don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating?
On m'a envoyé pour vous tuer. Qu'allez-vous faire si je vous laisse sortir? Je vais vous laisser enfermer ici encore un moment, le temps que je me décide. Déjà, j'ai pas confiance en vous, ça me tient pas debout. Je peux pas prendre de risques. Remonter et choper la lame. Je n'arrive pas à croire qu'on ait pu vous retenir prisonnière ainsi. Je vais vous sortir d'ici. Voilà,
Only
le bon
making
con.
this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allez,
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying
pas les
to break
briser.
them apart.
on lui
I'm
coupe le bras
guessing you
sinon.
don't have the key?
Non, j'ai pas la clé, madame.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just...
S'il n'y a pas la clé, vous avez une idée?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Me couper le bras. Ah oui, bah voilà.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete
Ah
nonchalance.
non, voilà, il y a un problème.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm
On a
sure
dit qu'on
we'd
était
be
en
nonchalant
roleplay,
about cutting our way out if it
roleplay
meant we
soumis.
could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding
Bloqué.
into place. Is someone else here?
Ouvre!
Your shouts and pleas. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the... You try
Ouvre!
the door, but it's locked from...
Bon, c'est bloqué.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Madame, il y a un
This would have
problème.
been
C'est bloqué.
So much easier for who? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Eh oui.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Ça, madame.
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Le poignard, il est... Hein? Ok.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Sauver la princesse. Non mais attendez madame, faites pas ça avec les dents. On va faire ça proprement.
Against your better judgment, you place
Voilà.
the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it
nickel.
takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains. She didn't so much as
voilà.
utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm
Elle est gauchère,
dripping
sûrement.
rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Oui, bah oui, partons, hein. Allez.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Non.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Eh, le narrateur, tu nous laisses tranquille.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Oxyre, non. L'avertir.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
De toute façon, voilà. Tout à l'heure, on se faisait manipuler par elle. Là, on se fait manipuler
Your
par le
body
narrateur.
lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges,
Ok, c'est bon.
stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The
Je
blade.
résiste.
Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Prenez la dague, madame.
Both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Quoi?
She plunges it into
Bah,
your
yes.
chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay
On
strong.
va pas planter au bon
We
endroit.
can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake?
T'es pas un jouet, hein?
Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A l'air, ouais.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
Non mais c'est bon.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares
Putain, le
down
narrateur,
her
là,
ruined
il nous a
chest
baisé,
as
quoi.
tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you.
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
Mort. Mort. La damoiselle.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Tu me saoules, le narrateur, là. Oui, mais non.
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time,
Roi de
did he?
l'épris.
If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Le narrateur, il se rappelle pas?
Our beloved?
Comment ça, notre aimé?
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in
amoureux de la
love,
princesse.
and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Comment ça, à nous quatre?
We'll see about that.
Il y a le héros, il y a
Whatever you do, just be
l'épris.
sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Je veux voir mon amoureuse.
A warning before you go any further.
Tu te tais, toi. Tu te tais.
She will lie, she will cheat,
Tu te tais.
she will do everything
Jamais
in her
nous,
power
jamais
to
nous
already
trahira.
told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your
Jamais.
lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can
Ah
believe
bah
in.
j'essaie, mais ça on connaît pas.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task.
Entrez.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Non, on n'a pas besoin de toute façon.
That's because
Le
there is a
miroir.
door. There's a table, the blade sitting on
Mais
the
le
table.
narrateur, il
and
voit
the
pas le
door to the
miroir.
basement.
Nous,
There's
on voit le
nothing else in
miroir,
here.
mais le narrateur,
There's
non.
definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she,
In which
Ah ouais,
case
lui,
she'd be
l'autre,
lying to
l'épris,
you
il en a
because,
rien à foutre. Il veut juste
again,
voir la princesse.
there
Hein.
isn't a mirror.
À quoi pourrait bien servir?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so...
M'approche du miroir, je veux
Walk
voir.
up. This really isn't funny.
Essuie le miroir.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's
Et puis
gone.
miroir.
Pity. We could have a feather out of place.
Ouais,
and now we'll
l'insensible
never
était mieux
know.
que l'épris. Hein.
We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Nous ne saurons jamais si notre plumage est ébouriffé. Quoi, on joue une poule? Bon, on descend. Pas besoin de la lame.
The door
Mon
to the
amour!
basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
A soft voice carries up the stair.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oui, je suis là,
Her
mon amour.
voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than
Oh
last
putain,
time.
l'épris.
I can hear wedding bells already.
Of
held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess.
On la connaît pas. On connaît même pas son nom.
Right by her without all this over-the-top. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part
Essaie
of
de
the
vous faire tomber sous son
manipulation.
charme. Bah les prix, c'est perdu, hein. Alors, est-ce qu'elle a demain ou pas? Oui, elle a demain.
Eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Ah, j'aurais dû prendre la dague, quand même.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my
Si
spirit.
pépé de les prix. Les prix vraiment nuls.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Oh là là.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Vous êtes déjà venu ici,
That's
oui.
right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense.
Non mais c'est bon là, ils vont pas se battre quand même. Oh.
So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done.
Tu veux sortir le trémisse?
What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world.
On sait pas si on a fait l'apocalypse. C'est le narrateur.
Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
Vous m'avez tué la dernière fois. Attendez, je sortir les chiens déjà. Promenez, allez. Allez prendre l'air un peu. Promenez. Là. Vous nous avez tué, madame.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Non.
Did we?
Comment ça, ce qu'on voulait?
The cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision
je l'aime pas,
for
lui.
her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness.
Rendez-moi le premier
Just
là.
opening yourself up to manipulation.
J'ai pas pris le couteau avec moi. Est-ce que je dois encore vous couper le bras? Que s'est-il passé après ma mort? Je me sens obligé de poser la question. Vous avez détruit le monde? Il s'est passé quoi après ma mort?
You died, and now we're talking.
Ouais. J'ai pas pris le couteau.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists.
Oh non.
And indeed, we won't
C'est vrai que j'aurais
even
dû prendre le
have to.
couteau quand même,
Do you
pas pour la
see
tuer, mais
how
pour couper le
dainty
bras,
her
quoi.
hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Non. Avant qu'on recommence à parler, est-ce que l'apocalypse a eu lieu? Bah elle s'en fout, elle ne répondra pas. Hein. Le narrateur qui m'a envoyé ici pour vous tuer a pris possession de mon corps, c'était complètement injuste. Sauvez la princesse.
No.
Si.
I can't let you do that. If you
Putain,
take
mais
another step
fous-moi
towards
la
the
paix là,
princess,
le narrateur.
what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain tight.
Après, si on voulait pas la tuer, on a bien fait de pas prendre.
If you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked.
Quoi?
I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that
c'est
of a
sorti
true
comme ça.
believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time.
Bah non.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Allez, voilà, on s'en va et voilà, fin du jeu.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace.
Ah.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would... Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power
On a
of
l'amour
love
avec nous,
on
bah
our
oui,
side?
c'est beau.
What do we do now?
Maintenant, on s'en va. On prend nos manteaux, on s'en va. Vous voulez faire
Let
quoi?
me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his
Ah,
heart.
qui nous fait chier. Mais les deux, ils nous font chier. Hein.
Don't actually know.
Le narrateur, il nous fait
Nobody's
chier,
ever
les prix, il nous
asked
fait
me what I
chier.
wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
Il n'y a que le héros qui est lucide à peu près.
Gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave.
Bah
And I
allez,
think-
bah on s'en va.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Je veux savoir ce que vous voulez. Il y a forcément quelque chose que vous avez envie.
I just want to make you happy.
Hey.
She can't just want to make us happy.
Eh.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Pas bon ça. Qu'est-ce qui vous rendrait
I
heureuse,
just
vous?
want to make you happy.
Hein?
Is she broken? What's going on is she's lying to you.
Me rendre heureux ne peut pas être votre seul objectif.
I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Eh.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's...
Il se passe quelque chose d'étrange ici, ça me terrifie. Il y a quelque chose qui va pas. Je veux savoir ce que vous voulez.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it
Succès.
feel like we're
C'est tout ce qu'elle
alone
désirait.
right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Ah, par contre, on a ramené une truc à la madame aux 1000 bras, là. Vous n'avez pas le temps de vous poser une autre question, ni maintenant, ni jamais. Il est temps pour vous de partir.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a mirror? Why is it here?
C'est mon
Why
chat qui me
now?
fixe. Évidemment que c'est fini. Si vous avez peur, c'est fini pour vous, mais pas pour moi.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken up.
Bon, bah, au moins, on a eu une fin. C'est moi. Vous avez enflé, boursouflure. Comment ça, j'ai enflé? Vous vous retrouvez de nouveau au cœur de la quiétude éternelle. On va revoir Madame aux 1000 bras, et voilà. Ah, le chalet. Une fois au chalet.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Oui, qu'est-ce qu'il y a, mon chat? Bah. Clips! Clips! Qu'est-ce que tu veux.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Dès que vous serez prêt, je ferai à nouveau... Vous êtes toujours la même, à quel point vous avez changé. Quel effet cela fait de se transformer comme ça? Que comptez-vous faire une fois que vous, toute cette histoire sera terminée? Oh là là, oh là là. Bon, elle n'est pas tout à fait pareille que tout à l'heure, hein, le nouveau skin.
I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Donc globalement, elle s'en fout. Hein. Vous avez été plus gentil à mon égard.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you?
C'est vrai qu'elle était sympa.
The only thing I know that isn't me.
Oh. Je ne vous souhaite pas de faire du mal. Que ressentez-vous à mon égard? Ouais. Comme un réceptacle. Arrêtez un peu avec vos discours prétentieux. Attaquer, détruire votre propre corps. Je suis prêt à y retourner.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
À quelle heure l'OP? C'est 17h, je crois. Mais à 16h, je vais peut-être commencer à y jouer. 16h30, je pense, je vais jouer, enfin un petit peu.
We will meet again.
Mais j'avoue que je suis un peu pris dans celui-là, là. Le héros et la princesse. Allez, c'est reparti pour la
You're on
boucle.
a path.
Alors, on a essayé d'être sympa. On a essayé de pas être sympa. OP sur Unrail 2. Bon, j'y vais là. Straight forward là. J'entre dans le chalet. Je prends la lame. Je descends. Je dis bonjour.
Don't be a stranger. And it's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Ah, c'est pas la même voix.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are.
Ah, parce que j'ai pris la dague.
Kill me or something?
Je suis venu pour discuter. Je suis là pour vous tuer.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is.
Je lâche l'arme. Hop!
The blade tumbles out of your
Un pas, je
trembling
fais un pas
hands
vers elle, elle fait un pas
and
vers moi.
drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Voilà, j'aime pas trop ce petit air là.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess. We'll be fine.
Ça va?
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Je rêve vous me draguer. Oh! Vous avez l'intention de détruire le monde.
Don't just tell her that.
Oui, si. Si.
Is that why they threw me down here?
Tips.
But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Elle aime bien le monde. Ah, ça va alors.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so
Pourquoi tu me mets des coups de patte, toi?
dangerous?
Coquine, hein? Tu me mets des coups de patte? Une coquine. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Je sais pas moi, hein, ça vous te dire, hein? J'en sais assez. Non mais j'imagine qu'on n'a pas donné ces informations pour une raison. J'espère que vous me le diriez.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
C'est vrai.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about
Oui voilà,
trust.
une relation de confiance, la main dans la main. On va s'en sortir tous les deux.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you
J'aime pas
want
son
to
ton,
hear,
là.
but you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a
C'est vrai,
situation
ça.
like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Mais la voix du narrateur, enfin toi, le narrateur non plus, il a aucune...
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person and a subjugating monarch.
Je sais pas,
no
moi, il me
less.
saoule le narrateur. Faut me draguer, quelle horreur. Comment vous appelez?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness.
Non, non.
Or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do.
Again, she offers
Non, mais elle a
no
un prénom, non?
specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight.
Comment je pourrais vous sortir
You
d'ici?
can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then.
Ah bah non.
I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
Je rêve, vous me draguez, mais c'est quelle horreur ça? Vous êtes là depuis combien de temps?
Too long.
Oh, ça c'est horrible ça.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other.
Oui, bon allez.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Je vais vous sortir d'ici. Je vais vous laisser enfermer ici encore un moment. Non mais venez. Allez, on y va. On s'en va.
Have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy.
If you
Enfin, on
don't have
connaît.
the key, maybe you should go looking for it.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the
Ah, peut-être
princess away
qu'il
down
faudrait qu'on
here
regarde un peu
intended
plus en
for
haut.
her to
Peut-être qu'on
never
pourrait trouver les clés. Bon, je vais voir en haut en espérant que ça
You
ferme pas.
attempt to make your way out of the bait.
Donc
Someone
là,
else
ça
here?
clique. Ok. Je redescends.
You make your way back.
Bloqué.
Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked the
Elle a pas la
knife.
même voix que tout à
Pick it
l'heure.
up and cut me
C'est à peu
out
près la
of
même
here.
cinématique, mais elle a pas la même voix.
You won't like what happens if,
Ouais, sauver la princesse.
against
Voilà,
your
on coupe.
better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's
Tu vois,
arm.
c'est pas la même cinématique
just
tout à
above
fait.
the You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Free from her
Bon, par contre, là, on va
bindings,
juste se
the
casser
princess turns
et on va
to
pas lui demander
face
ce qu'elle veut.
fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Ouais, on s'en va. Pour le moment, on s'en va là.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't watch me.
Ah oui, alors attends. Parce que sinon, elle va juste nous casser la gueule. Elle va juste nous casser la gueule si...
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink. Stop it. Stop resisting me.
Oui, non. Là, j'ai peur qu'elle me recasse la gueule.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I'll make this.
She steps
Voilà, là, elle va
forward,
prendre le truc.
eyes the blade,
Maybe I'll see you in another.
and
Lâche,
then
lâche.
she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground.
Elle est pas tout à fait pareille que tout à l'heure.
This is the end. I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark.
Mais
and
au
you
moins,
die.
on n'aura pas les prix, je pense.
Hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her.
Ok. Avancez. Dis-moi qu'on n'a pas les prix avec nous.
Before you go any, she will lie, she will cheat,
Oui, on connaît.
she will do. Yes, don't
Okay,
believe a
okay.
word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Faut pas croire ce qu'elle dit, il suffit d'entrer, de prendre le couteau et de finir le boulot.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat
Ah, est-ce qu'on
and
prend la
more
lame
like a
du coup là?
dungeon. The only
Pour avancer.
furniture of note is an iron table bolted to the floor. A pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it to. He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
Je veux voir à quoi je ressemble, je veux voir si je suis beau. Non, de toute façon, faut qu'on arrête de regarder là-dedans. Attends, à la run d'avant, vous pouvez m'aider le chat. Hein. À la run d'avant... Attends, déjà, faut que je rentre les chiens. Au deuxième essai, est-ce qu'on a pris la dague? On n'a pas pris la dague, je crois, au deuxième essai. De toute façon, je crois que si tu prends la dague, tu le fais planter quoi qu'il arrive. Hein. Peu
We
importe.
should treat.
On s'en fout.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror.
Oh,
Why
il est
would I
disparu.
lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Clips.
I'm afraid
pas.
I'm going to insist we take the blade. Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against
Clips.
which I'm bringing up in
Ça.
a purely hypothetical manner.
T'en as pas marre de marcher sur la Go XLR, Eclipse?
Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay. I'm trusting you.
Prends la lame. Et j'ai pas mon idée.
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as
Non,
well.
prends pas le couteau. Ah vas-y, je suis obligé de prendre le couteau.
Exactly that. Sweeping the blade from the table before proceeding. Don't worry about it.
Mauvaise idée ça.
So no, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open,
Y a pas la tapisserie.
revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs
Oula.
and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall join in the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose,
Ah, qu'il y a une chaîne en plus.
something so obviously useless.
Ah, ça va être compliqué de la sortir,
What an
hein.
interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Ah, mais 2 secondes. J'ai pas besoin de faire grand chose, elle est totalement prisonnée. L'abandonner. Non. On s'assoit avec elle.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
Et si on s'attache avec elle?
I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
S'asseoir à l'endroit qu'elle vous indique, s'asseoir plus près d'elle. Oh putain, oh le forceur.
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Non mais c'est bon, je voulais parler!
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade.
Je lâche l'arme, c'est bon, c'est bon.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Après, moi je m'en vais, hein. Tu prends la lame si tu veux, moi je te laisse là, hein. Y a pas de souci.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No.
Je regarde.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her. I'll be damned.
Non mais madame.
Doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh. So that's her play.
Elle voulait enlever l'idée. Après elle remet, mais remettez la tête au pire après. Vous l'enlevez, vous enlevez la chaîne, vous remettez après la tête.
Dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room. until at last it stops in an unsettling
C'est pas moi, hein.
wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounced. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please
On
tell
peut la
me we can put
recoller.
it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Bien joué.
So I guess that's it. What a way to go.
I hate this. Can we just get... Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that.
Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of a reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy
Je sais pas,
your
hein.
reward.
Emmenez la princesse. Je prends la tête avec moi au pire. Non mais je m'en vais. Non mais c'est bon.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Ouvrir la porte et prendre la récompense.
You
Voilà.
open the cabin door,
Énorme
ready to
récompense.
return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what
Le
you
néant.
find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not
On
going
aura
to
pas de
get our
récompense du
reward?
coup.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have
Le
it.
bonheur éternel.
And I...
Ouais,
Okay.
génial. Excellent, hein.
This is what's best for everyone.
Like hell it is.
Bon, on va rester dans notre cage à souris là. Je suis pas sûr, je suis plutôt
So
satisfait.
glad you're
Bon, on est
keeping
bien
an
là,
open
vas-y,
mind.
c'est bon.
Time passes.
Tu me mets un PC, je suis
You
content,
can't be
moi, je
sure
peux
if it's
streamer.
days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Ah, ça il se réveille lui. Je ne sais pas, je suis plutôt heureux, je vais accepter ma récompense. Non, je suis bien là.
That's great.
Je
Congratulations.
suis bien là.
You've earned more happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has
heureux, là.
plenty of meaning.
Aïe, je suis heureux là.
He's just saying things.
The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of
Oh,
pure
ouais, on est bien, là.
existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy.
On est bien là,
Forever.
on fait des trucs. C'est cool. Alors. Ouais.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you? We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves
Oh
and
non.
start over.
Ah non, on est heureux là.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Non, non. On va pas se foutre en l'air. Ça me plaisait d'être heureux. Tu vas vraiment m'arracher mon bonheur?
That wasn't real happiness. The truth is still out there for us to find, but we can't find it here.
Y'a vraiment aucune autre
If it
solution?
makes it easier for you, I can.
Non. On va pas faire ça.
I'm sorry.
Wait, why are you sorry?
Your body lurches as your heart suddenly stops beating.
Oh, on était bien là.
Are you killing us? You'll forgive me eventually. You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Pas cool.
Why should it
On était
matter
bien là.
if we die at this point? Haven't you already
En
got
plus, on va
what you
revenir, on
want?
va se faire hanter par le fantôme.
Don't have to answer.
Après, ça fait longtemps qu'on l'a pas vu le fantôme.
That's all we needed to hear.
Ça se trouve, ça peut bien se passer cette
Turns
fois avec
out
le
that it
fantôme.
doesn't take too long to die after your heart stops beating. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
La cage. Ah oui, maître. Merci pour la cage.
You're on a path in the wood.
Are you fucking kidding me? We had everything we ever could
La
have
cage à
wanted,
souille.
and you killed us.
C'est quoi ce... C'est quoi ça?
We didn't have everything we ever could have wanted. That's just what he told us. I want the truth, not some made-up eternal happiness.
But it was nice.
Oh, il
Who
m'énerve,
gives
lui,
a
déjà.
shit about truth?
I do. He said we were happy, but what does happiness like that even mean? It was just another prison.
And this isn't. There are chains everywhere.
That just means we're on the right track, you numbskull. That we're finally starting to see reality for what it is.
Can you two stop fighting?
Ah oui, ça y est, du coup,
It's
on se
not
bat,
very
voilà, ils
productive.
font que se battre, là.
No, it isn't, is it? So let's focus up. You've clearly already been here before, and judging by how deranged you all are, you've already been here more than once. I'll spare you my full introduction, but I would like to remind you that the people in my world are living, breathing, suffering
monde.
entities. Not pawns for you to sacrifice in pursuit of some vague truth.
On se dit qu'on a encore la lame. C'est la première fois que nous la détenons d'entrée. Elle est morte. Vous êtes certain que nous devons l'oxyre? Elle s'est coupée la tête. La dernière fois, j'étais heureux de connaître le bonheur éternel.
Eternal bliss? You wouldn't have found eternal bliss unless you actually killed her. Actually, she killed herself. Cut her own head off. It was awful. It was convenient. Too convenient. She... what? Why would she ever do that? She's not supposed to be suicidal. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Pourquoi il tweak le narrateur
More
là?
importantly, if she did cut her own head off, why are you here? You shouldn't have died. You should be enjoying your reward.
I was fine with it, but that spiteful bastard gave us a heart attack and killed us for no reason.
I had a great reason. We were stuck with no answers. And now we're not. You're welcome.
Donc le nous de la deuxième boucle, il est pas content du nous de la première boucle. Qui nous a tués effectivement alors qu'on
And you
était
don't
bien,
think
on
we're
était chill.
stuck now? We're still in a cage, it's just bigger.
You know, if you think about it, isn't life just
Oh.
a really big
Les
cage?
termes, bien dit ça.
Don't you start philosophizing. Just get to the cabin.
Allez, on va au chalet. J'en ai plein le dos. Tourner les talons et partir. Ouais, je me casse moi. Enfin, ça, j'ai déjà essayé de me casser, ça n'a pas marché. Explorer quand même en nous ayant encore la lame.
Huh. Holding it's starting to feel natural, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if we spawn with it or have to trudge all the way up to the cabin to get it.
It's not. I didn't kill us
Si, tu nous as tués,
Well,
connard.
it still killed us.
This is strange. You're not supposed to start with the blade. It says right here that you're supposed to find it at the cabin.
D'après mon scénario.
Oh well, I suppose that doesn't make
Ah,
much sense anyway.
ça commence à partir en couille, même pour le narrateur, en vrai. Il commence à avoir de moins en moins de pouvoir sur nous. Bon, vas-y, on va au chalet. Hein. Et le chalet, il a changé le chalet aussi.
An abyss yawns beneath you, empty and endless.
Oi, oi, oi.
The only path forward, a rusted metal bridge.
Great. A creaky old bridge and a bottomless ravine. Because getting to the cabin was too easy last time. I wonder what other sick jokes are waiting for us. Maybe that ravine doesn't even go anywhere. It'd be par for the course if we slipped and wound up falling forever.
There's nothing to find out here. Time to check in with the missus.
Ah, le
I'm going
bâtard.
to pretend you didn't just call her that.
Entrez dans le chalet. Sauf une fois au
Every
chalet.
surface
Oula.
of the cabin is draped in chains, the air filled with the mock birdsong of metallic clinks. Where there should be walls, you can see only endless ropes of metal, with hooks and spines dangling from their
Trône de fer, là.
ends. A fitting cage for a monster, destined to end the world. There's nothing for you to do but step forward into the basement. You already have your weapon. Your objective awaits.
Oh, not the damn mirror again. I hate the mirror. It gets us nowhere.
Faut pas regarder ça. Ça sert à rien le miroir.
Mirror?
Alors pourquoi nous on voit le miroir mais le narrateur ne voit jamais aucun miroir? Ça c'est un problème.
What mirror? There is no mirror. Why would I lie about there being a mirror? Whose fucking idea was this? It's awful.
I'm sure whoever put it there for a reason. It's obviously important. It has...
I'm not going to waste time arguing with you. Just get to the basement, okay? The door's on the other side of the room. Then, I guess there's nowhere for us to go but
Ah, il est dépité
forward.
le héros.
You step out onto the floor. Or what should have been a floor.
Should have been.
Yes, unfortunately, you realise too late that there is no floor beneath the metal. There is only
Toile
a
de chaîne
loose web of
suspendue au-dessus
chains
d'un espace
suspended over
invisible.
some unseen space. An unseen space that you are now rapidly plummeting through.
Ah. Bah yes.
Oh, now this is just absolute bullshit. Can't even walk across a room now without being plunged into an abyss.
You're too emotional, it makes us sloppy. We have to focus on details right now, and we can't focus on details if you're raging
Oh, il me
about
saoule les deux.
every little
En fait, le
thing
seul
that
que j'aimais bien,
happens.
c'était le premier.
Are we supposed to focus on details while we're falling into a bottomless pit?
Don't be ridiculous, it obviously has a bottom.
Your fall is suddenly, painfully halted as rusty chains pull taut against your skin, their hooks digging into your muscle.
Ça
You
va?
find yourself suspended in what appears to be a vast, dark space.
C'est stylé ça par
The
contre. hein,
glinting
mais...
of yet more chains merely hinting at its full dimensions. You dangle a few feet off the bare concrete floor. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. As your eyes
Elle est là, hein.
adjust to your new surroundings, you make out a figure standing in the gloom, obscured in shadow. She watches you with the stillness of the grave.
Il a la tête ou pas? Il a pas l'air d'avoir la tête, hein.
Easy now. We don't know what sort of situation we're dealing with. We should let her make the first move. Let observation give us an advantage.
Ça va? Ça va? Vous m'en voulez? Je regrette. Qu'est-ce qui vous a pris de vous couper la tête? Qu'est-ce qui vous a pris de vous
But you
couper
are
la
met
tête?
with only silence, save for the creaks and groans of metal as it
Ça va pas?
sways in the
Nous ça va
stale
pas?
air around you. The hooks slowly shift in your skin, the pain coming in waves as you continue to dangle helplessly.
Les princesses là qui se coupent la tête, qui prennent mon couteau, mais ça va pas. On est où là?
Screw this. This is making me bloody anxious. It's like It's like she knows how unfair this all is, and now she's having fun with it.
C'est pas une autre tête, j'ai la ref.
By not saying anything.
Bah, elle a pas de tête.
Yes!
Ça va?
The princess takes a slow
si, elle est là.
step forward. As she does so, the heavy chains shift, tightening and tearing at your flesh, your joints screaming in agony as the rusted hooks dig deeper. Stars dance in your eyes as the chain wrapped around your neck threatens to choke you. As your vision comes back into focus, your eyes fall on the body of the princess, finally emerged from the shadows.
The body of the princess is a weird way to describe a person.
It's only accurate. The form in front of you is a body, draped in raiments of chains, her head dragging along behind her in an iron cage. The head stares up at you but says nothing, and the chains squeeze ever tighter.
Oh, we're being strangled already? You haven't given us a chance to do a damn thing! What's the point of any of this if we don't even get to make a single choice?
Le couteau, il est là le couteau, ça va, on peut s'en servir encore.
I'm not here to give you chances, I'm here to set the stage and to dictate to you what happens. I can advise you on the correct course of action, but there are limits to my direct involvement. The choices, if that's what you like to call them, have always been yours.
A riddle while we're dying, isn't that just like you? Now to figure out what exactly you mean by choices.
Oh, for the love of stop thinking and do something!
Ça va? Qu'est-ce que vous me reprochez? Qu'est-ce qui vous arrive? Agitez votre lame, gardez le silence. Vous êtes coupé la tête toute seule la dernière fois. C'est pas ma faute, hein?
Mad at you? I'm not mad at you. I know you didn't have anything to do with that. Not outside of your designated role, of course.
The body takes another step towards you, the chains around you tightening, the hooks boring deeper into your flesh. They constrict dangerously around your throat. You find it.
I don't think she's happy you're here. But what do I know?
I'm
just a set of eyes and ears. I don't make choices. At least not any that matter.
Oh, well, isn't that just convenient?
It makes sense to me. She's a severed head. What control could she possibly have over her body? There's no connections, no nerves. So bodies can work on their own.
You know, I wouldn't mind that, actually. Maybe when the chain pops our useless head off, we'll get to run around without it.
This was all doomed from the start, wasn't it?
Non, mais on peut discuter. Vous parlez vraiment de votre corps comme ça? Je ne suis pas responsable de cette situation. Laissez-moi. Vous avez fait des choix, à vrai dire, vous n'avez jamais cessé d'en faire. En ce moment même, vous optez pour la violence. Elle parle.
That's what I used to think. But time alone has taught me the truth.
Je distingue de mon corps. Je ne suis qu'une simple spectatrice.
I'm just the thing that watches it. There's so much pain that comes from tricking yourself into thinking you have a choice. But none of us have choices. And knowing that has made me feel so... free. Everything we witness is just another shade of the same endless cycle. I wake up in chains.
The body steps forward. Your bindings tighten again.
Non, mais c'est bon.
You come to me, knife in hand.
Oui, bah, j'avais pas le choix.
The body steps forward. The pressure on your limbs is becoming unbearable.
You give me your implement.
The pressure is finally too much. Your fist unfolds as your joints swell with
Moi,
trapped
si on m'avait
blood,
demandé le
and
choix,
your pristine
j'aurais pas pris.
tumbles helplessly to the ground.
I cut myself free.
Well, at least she gets it. This whole damn thing's a pile of flaming bullshit and there's nothing we can do to put it out.
Oui, bah, tue-nous, hein. Vous me condamnez à l'échec. Je ne peux pas faire de vrais choix en étant pendus comme ça. Ouais, que... Pensons pas. Hein. Nous avons beau répéter inlassablement le même manège, nous conservons tous même notre libre arbitre. Par décision, nous avons l'influence... trop long, trop long. Qu'est-ce que j'aurais dû faire? Vous vouliez que je sorte du chalet en empruntant votre tête? Ah, elle voulait ça?
That is what I wanted.
Ah bah oui, ben faut
You didn't
dire!
do it. And I don't think you could have done it. The walls are what the walls are. So give in with me. None of this is up to us.
Dites-le, prenez ma tête et barrez-vous!
She steps forward yet again, and the chains dig into you, your nerves screaming, your heart pounding, your lungs desperate for air.
I don't think we can hold on to you much longer. Like I said, the girl's right. This whole thing is rigged.
This is all getting so predictable, isn't it?
Oui. Hop là. Vous chutez, le monde se met à tourner, puis vous touchez le sol, votre corps si léger roule avant de s'immobiliser, les chaînes qui s'entrechoquent, le bruit sourd. Ça va? Incapable d'agir, de vous défendre ou de regarder autour. C'est beau, hein. C'est par contre... Le corps de la princesse s'avance vers vous d'un pas lent et cadencé. Il se baisse pour vous ramasser, puis hop, dans la cage. Une ombre se dresse derrière le corps, armée d'une lame.
And now, the cut.
Et schlac! L'ombre frappe. Ah, c'est nous! Enfin, c'est une autre nous. Les plumes, c'est nous, ça. Le corps laisse alors échapper la cage sous l'effet de la douleur. Une lutte acharnée s'engage dans un tourbillon de chaînes, de crochets, de plumes et de sang. Les adversaires s'enfoncent dans la pénombre. Vous ne percevez plus que des bruits de leur affrontement.
See? You only ever thought you were in control. Isn't it so much nicer to let go?
Je n'ai pas lâché prise, vous m'avez arraché la tête. Qu'allons-nous faire? Vous n'êtes pas libéré? Vous ne vous êtes pas libéré, mon corps a toujours le couteau en main. La situation est inédite. Ah, c'est mon corps à moi! Ok. Je ne suis plus qu'une tête décapitée. Ma fin est arrivée, j'imagine que ça pourrait être pire. Il n'y a rien d'agréable, je suis une tête.
And what's wrong with that? It's really not that different from how it's always been. Just watching things play out. It's who we are. Only now, we can be honest with ourselves.
La princesse et vous observez vos corps évoluer à la lisière de la pénombre, exécutant leur danse fatale.
Look at us go. Aren't we beautiful?
La chorégraphie est splendide, primitive, décomplexée, l'acier percutant l'acier, la chair glissant sur la chair.
It's all going to come to a head soon.
Je vais bientôt savoir où plus donner de la tête. J'ai la ref.
Head.
Ah, mort. L'apothéose se dessine enfin, votre corps pris dans les chaînes de la pénombre joue son va-tout, mais le sien en fait autant, la chaîne brise l'échine, tandis que la lame transperce le cœur.
I guess I'll see you next time.
On se reverra, ouais, bah oui, hein, du coup. Hop là, les deux morts. Votre corps et le sien s'effondrent, leur danse achevée. Le sang s'écoule de la bouche de la princesse qui tousse.
It's cold,
Il fait froid.
but that's always been us, hasn't it? Cold isn't bad.
Pouah, elle était chelou cette boucle. Hop. Vous n'avez pas l'occasion de répondre et vous ne l'aurez jamais. Il est temps de partir. Restez coincé dans vos habitudes dans une cage en acier. Contemplez le refrain. Décomposition, vous avez fondu. Ce qui est bien, c'est qu'on va pouvoir, oui, voilà, la waifu. On va pouvoir reparler à Madame Millebras, ouais. On se retrouve au... On retourne au chalet. Approchez du chalet. Putain, à chaque fois, ils se sont fait chier à faire
A mass of tides ebbing and flowing
un nouveau
all at
corps.
once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Vous pouvez pas une contradiction, c'est impossible, une telle chose n'existe pas. Comment pouvez-vous supporter d'être une contradiction? Peu importe combien de fois je recommence, l'un de nous finit toujours par faire du mal à l'autre. Ça ne vous rend pas différente. Il n'y a pas de retombée négative sur vous. Que pensez-vous du réceptacle, de ce réceptacle? À la fin, lorsque vous serez complète, je vous pourfendrai. Aïe aïe. C'est vous qu'il advient des mondes que nous laissons derrière nous?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Ok.
It changes me.
Vos
but it
actions me font
doesn't make
évoluer.
me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Oh. Bon, il y a quand même une histoire, voilà, de... amour. Je veux seulement que ça s'arrête. Vous me torturez, je crois bien que je vous hais. Tout cela me paraît si loin quand je suis à vos côtés. Je vous apprécie encore davantage, je ne sais pas si... ce que ça dit de moi.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Bon. Vous parlez par énigme. Vous ne pourriez pas me donner au moins une réponse claire.
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what
Eclipse,
I wish to say.
tu joues pas avec le câble et...
If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Vous avez bien conscience qu'à la fin, que vous serez complète, je devrais vous tuer.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
J'ai envie de voir la fin maintenant.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing
Ça y est, je
what
suis
you
dedans là, je suis dans le
choose.
train.
There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and tells me new secrets.
Je peux pas y retourner, je veux rester ici.
If you need time, then I will wait with you.
Clips. Continuez d'attendre pour l'éternité. Ah, on peut rester avec elle.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished.
Oh non. Elle veut pas rester
What
avec nous.
textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer
Ah,
bear the
Eclipse a
weight
décidé que
of its
tu étais devant moi,
internal
que
cage.
tu allais faire la sieste devant moi, d'accord bien. Tiens, je te fais de la place, voilà. Tiens, t'as de la place, Eclipse. Voilà. Tu veux que je te fasse un peu plus de place? C'est ça? Oui, t'es bien là. T'as beau chat. Oui, tu veux plus de place? Attends, je te fais plus de place. Tiens, vas-y. Voilà, t'es bien là. Par contre, là, tu t'assois sur le...
You'll
No.
always come back to the box.
Là, couché.
Because you'll always
Voilà,
want to
t'es bien là.
know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oui, t'es bien là. Quoi? Non. Non, t'as fait quoi? Non, le jeu, il a planté. Non! Clips! Ou alors c'est elle qui a fermé le jeu? Oh, est-ce que c'est jeu méta et c'est la princesse qui a fermé le
You
jeu?
have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Allez, reste avec moi. Je suis prêt à y retourner.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Putain. Ça y est, je suis hooked.
You're on a path in the...
Bon, attendez, faut réfléchir un peu là.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning. Before you go any... She will lie. She will...
Oui. La même sans s'asseoir à côté d'elle, ouais.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade...
On avait pris l'arme. Ouais, mais là, elle va pas avoir les 3 chaînes.
You take the door to the basement. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you.
Ça va?
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors.
Voilà,
You
avec
walk
une
down
chaîne.
the stairs and lock eyes with the prince.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Je n'ai pas pris ma décision. Je sais plus ce que j'avais fait. Ah oui, il fallait prendre la tête aussi. T'avais épargné, elle t'a tué. Ah oui, c'est vrai. J'avais fait comment? J'avais fait... Je suis venu discuter.
Then why did you bring a knife with you?
Oui,
How
bah,
about
je
you
sais.
drop it, and then we can chat.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just drop? Don't you dare. It's fine.
J'avais lâché l'arme, je crois, non?
The blade tumbles.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
On va se discuter.
Oh,
Tant que je me décide. Alors là, j'avais fait sortir. Non, j'ai pas la clé. Après, oui, après. Je vais aller voir là-haut.
Your shouts and plea, you're
Ça
here
rentre
to
pas.
sleep.
Je redescends.
You make your way back.
Sauver la princesse. S'approcher.
No, we won't have it.
Là, je l'avais averti. Ah, je peux pas résister.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone
Bon, on a un autre
vice.
truc. C'est pas grave.
You drop the blade, pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a
Tant qu'on a un
ring in
autre
your
truc, ça va.
ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her
nous
knee
écraser.
falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this. I'm sorry,
Bah si, hein.
but it's over. Everything goes
Et voilà.
dark. And you die.
La tour. À la tour, on n'avait pas eu. On avait eu la cage.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her.
Elle va encore me tuer. Non, non, avance. M'en fous.
A warning before you go any further.
Plus elle nous tue, plus on se rapproche
She will
d'elle.
lie. She will. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her.
Le résigner.
And stop
On
pretending
l'a jamais eu, le
we're capable
résigner.
of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try. Can we tone down the pessimism? I'm not being a pessimist.
Pas
You're being
pessimiste.
annoying. Just
C'est
ignore
exaspérant.
their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her.
Voilà,
but
faut voir
if
combien elle
he's
a de
telling
chaînes.
the truth, rescue her. Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
Ok.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't.
Je suis plus hook que ce que je pensais. Je savais que le jeu était incroyable et que j'avais envie de le faire, mais...
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
je suis tout petit.
We don't feel small. We are small.
On est le soumis. Ah, est-ce qu'on prend la lame? Non, on est en mode soumis. Là, on y va et... je descends,
No
là.
blade this time. Blade, no blade.
Voilà, on est résigné, là. Hop.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually
Ah, voilà.
kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Sa voix tonitruante. Oula.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Elle est en mode domina.
Kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Si, on y va.
You shouldn't have come down here unarmed.
Si.
Get down
Pas
there.
besoin.
She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude?
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. So if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Je descends les escaliers.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end
dans
comes
un
into
tas
view,
d'escaliers,
and you tumble
débouchant
to
une
the
vaste
bottom,
salle.
entering the vast temple.
Semblable à un temple. Ambiance bizarre un peu là.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight.
Elle vole.
Her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me.
No.
How sweet. And more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
On est déçus, maîtresse?
Kneel.
Non. Oh, je sais pas, hein. Elle va pas être contente si je dis non. Run soumis, hop.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
Soumis de merde, va.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight.
Je m'excuse, maîtresse.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
J'étais vilain.
The last time we met,
Oui, bah oui.
nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I'd trust to deal with her.
Je m'attendais pas trop à ça.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we
Le
can do
résigné.
to stop her now.
Bah, le résigné, je l'aime. C'est mon top 1. Avec le deuxième, là. Le premier qu'on a eu, c'était qui déjà? Ah, je me rappelle plus. Comment il s'appelait le premier déjà? L'insensible. Résigné et l'insensible, c'est les goats. Hein.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Je ne crois pas pouvoir lui résister, désolé. Vous aurez l'intention d'anéantir le monde? Gardez le silence.
Are you serious? Just don't say anything.
Je dis
How
rien.
hard can it be to not say anything? You haven't felt her angelic fingers run along the edges of your mind.
Oh!
You haven't felt her nails dig into your thoughts.
Je garde le silence.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen?
Can she do that? There's nothing she can't do.
Oh, c'est bon, ouais. Le résigné, là.
Confused, meek, a chorus of submissive indecision. Is that why you came to me unarmed? It
Oui,
doesn't
maîtresse.
matter. All of it is easily brushed aside. And there it is. I am destined to end the world.
Pourquoi elle a développé un ultra instinct? Je sais pas, hein. En vrai, comment on est arrivé à cette Attends, mais j'ai fait quoi dans la première boucle pour en arriver là? J'ai pris la dague, je l'ai jetée. Attends, j'ai pris la dague. Ah oui, j'ai essayé de l'oxyre, mais oui, ok, je pouvais pas refuser.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Petit moineau, petit puceau. Petit puceau de merde!
There's nothing else for us.
Baisse les yeux!
Help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
Elle saura peut-être se montrer miséricordieuse. JPP. Que voulez-vous que je fasse? Mais si vous êtes censé anéantir le monde, vous n'êtes pas obligé d'en arriver là. Vous pouvez façonner votre propre destinée. Ah, va pas être contente, hein. J'ai des questions à vous poser avant de prendre une quelconque décision, maîtresse. Que vous est-il arrivé après ma mort? Je suis prêt à lui prêter allégeance. Je lui prête allégeance, je pose pas de questions.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
On veut que je brise ses chaînes. Ok.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me.
Ah, c'est le narrateur.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now.
Ah, j'avoue que le narrateur, il a de moins en moins d'influence sur nous, hein. Plus on fait les boucles.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Pardon, maîtresse.
A shriveling little worm.
Je suis un petit ver abougri.
Limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
C'est pas ma faute.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are.
T'es une petite
You're
merde.
mine.
Le narrateur, t'es une petite merde. Baisse les yeux, là. Je me moque de savoir ce que vous êtes. Vous m'appartenez. Y'a rien qui va.
Rise, my little
Allez, hop.
bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Ah, le narrateur, il parle comme elle.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Ça y est, elle parle dans notre tête maintenant. Si je n'ai pas la foi, que se passera-t-il? Je brise les chaînes.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you
Et
are.
voilà.
Come, it's time for
Regardez,
us
ça
to
se passe
leave.
bien. Faut pas parler. Succès. Prêtez allégeance à votre supérieur. Serviteur docile. Soumis de merde. Bah la voilà la good ending. Mais vous ne prenez pas la main tendue et vous n'en aurez jamais. Il est temps de partir.
She's gone.
Dans la fin du jeu.
Where did
Merci
she
à
go?
tous.
Should we try and find her? And is that a
Mirror? Why is it here?
C'est fini pour vous, mais pas pour moi. Tout va bien, vous devez me faire confiance, on est déjà venu ici, vous avez toujours peur.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. I don't want to look at us.
On se reverra. C'est fini pour vous, mais pas pour moi.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. This is what we all deserve.
Tendez la main. Et voir un nouveau disparu, le miroir se force toujours à partir. Les restes, vous avez dépéri. Vous vous retrouvez de nouveau au cœur de la quiétude. Ah bah elle a changé encore, vous êtes au chalet.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Pensez-vous que les gens vivent à l'extérieur? Pensez-vous qu'il y ait quoi que ce soit de réel à l'extérieur? Que pensez-vous de ce réceptacle? Et vous? Savez-vous ce qui se passe lors de votre réveil? Lorsque je repars, je ne suis plus seul. Deux voix me parlent en permanence. Certains font partie de moi, mais l'une d'entre elles est différente. Je l'appelle le narrateur. Il veut que je vous exécute. Avez-vous un narrateur, vous aussi?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Je sais pas comment, mais j'en suis certain. Je sais pas ce que je ferai quand je lui mettrai la main dessus. Quand je lui mettrai la main dessus, nous obtiendrons enfin les réponses à ces questions. Oui, et je le tuerai quand je lui mettrai la main dessus. Ah, j'aime bien ça, qu'on commence à switch de camp.
If he is anything other than us, he isn't worth the effort to destroy.
Combien d'autres réceptacles?
Whatever
Un seul?
you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular,
Oh,
a final multitude.
vite!
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Le héros et la princesse.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
Donc il est toujours là, le narrateur.
you make your way.
Ok, donc on a encore une itération de elle à trouver, quelque chose qu'on n'a pas fait. Je vais juste descendre sans la lame, pour voir. Je viens vous sauver.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue
Ah ça on l'a
me?
pas fait, lui
I was
mentir,
starting
full
to think I'd
mentir.
be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. But
She's beautiful. How could someone like...
I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Non.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of the...
Ta gueule, toi. Prenons... Je veux voir ce que je peux faire des chaînes.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Non, j'ai pas la clé.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Oh.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down
Je
here
pensais que
intended
ça
for her
avait
to
fait
never
longtemps
see the
avant la
light of...
lumière. Vous avez une autre idée?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete...
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could...
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs... Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts, you're here to slay... You make your way to the bottom of the... Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out.
She barely
coup, elle
hesitates
se
before
bouffe le
raising
bras.
her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes from behind you. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, or we could use it to... You won't like what happens if you do that.
Ah oui, mais alors... Parce que sauver la princesse... Oxyre la princesse, on l'a fait la première fois, mais on l'a fait genre... de sang-froid, sans lui mentir avant. Parce que là, on lui a menti, et là, si on l'oxy, ça va faire une autre fin, j'imagine. Que sauver la princesse... Je pense qu'on tue, hein. Je pense qu'on tue.
Without hesitation,
Voilà.
bring the blade down.
Ça, on l'a pas vu, ça.
Plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying
Okay,
to
ça va
me
pas.
this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
I'm not so sure.
Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees.
We can still turn this around.
Foncer en haut, finir le travail. Ah, j'ai envie de foncer en haut.
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here.
Le couard.
What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be.
You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that
Ça
once
suffit.
held the blade.
Laissez-moi, madame.
Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in that you settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways.
Eesh.
It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my...
She sounds
Eesh.
terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It
c'est une
doesn't
petite
sound
idée, hein.
like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Quelle que soit votre véritable nature, vous n'êtes pas une princesse. Dégagez là! Tambouriner à la porte. Ignorez-la et allez vous coucher.
Just
Hop.
ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will
Elle va bien se
stop.
fatiguer au
Just
bout d'un moment.
don't pay attention to it.
On met.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, and as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves.
Petite paralysie du sommeil
First
là.
your toes go numb. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation does...
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She
Ouais, bah,
steps
faites,
closer,
hein.
one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down.
Petite crise d'angoisse là.
I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart
Crise de
freezes in your
glisse.
chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
J'ai eu lesquels? J'ai eu Dominatrice. J'ai
You're
eu
on a path
Dominatrice,
in the woods,
Chaîne.
and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Juste tuer sans
basement
parler.
of that
La
cabin
première c'était tuer sans parler
a
rien,
princess.
juste tuer. Dominatrice, Chaîne, Amoureux. Et je sais plus.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie,
Oui,
she
oui,
will cheat,
on sait.
and she will do...
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time.
It doesn't matter.
Ah, le parano.
Don't trust anyone.
On n'a pas eu le parano.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless.
Oui, apparemment, avec le
The
DLC,
only
il y a plus de
furniture of
princesses
note
maintenant.
is a lone table,
Faut refaire
knocked
le jeu
on its
plusieurs fois,
side
du
in the
coup.
corner of the room. The blade is your imp...
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
Oh putain, les fenêtres, j'avais pas vu.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out.
Ah, on prend la lame. façon, je pense que le parano, il va pas nous faire laisser descendre sans prendre la lame, donc vas-y, tiens.
Oh, we should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is going to do us any favors.
You cross over the threshold
Oh non, il prend
and
pas, ok.
onto a series of isolated steps.
Ah.
More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else.
Putain, le narrateur, il est bizarre. Hein.
You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
Sauter dans le vide. Je vais lui parler.
Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago?
Je vais lui parler.
Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen
On
on
peut tout
talking
résoudre
anyway.
par la parole.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide.
Non mais elle est
Are
attachée
you
de toute façon
really not
encore.
going to comment on how weird this place is?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and
Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here.
On va crever ici.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter.
Prendre à droite, prendre à gauche, repartir en sens inverse. Toujours à droite.
You turn to the right, a faintly outlined path.
There you are.
Ah,
I
salut.
told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb.
Allez hop, crise de glisse. Bonne soirée à tous.
Your arms quickly follow.
This is it, isn't it?
It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think.
Ouais, mais on fait demi-tour sinon.
Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Ah
As your
putain.
blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt.
Crise de glisse.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open.
What are you doing?
I'm working.
Do you want this body to function, or do you want...
And then experience
Oh!
stops once more
Xanax.
as your body reapproaches death.
Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again.
You sure about that?
Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more?
You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver. Again,
Oh.
your eyes shoot open
Prends
as you
un
gasp for
anti, voilà,
breath.
prends quelque chose. Pop a pill.
Can't decide what you want to do, can't? Oh well. Standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us.
Elle joue juste avec nous quoi.
The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon.
Elle n'a pas d'arme.
That isn't my fault.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is because fighting her isn't an option right now.
Heart. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you? Nerves. Heart. Lungs.
Pourquoi vous m'achevez
Because
pas?
I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying.
The princess
Non,
leans
arrête,
forward,
arrête.
bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck.
Shit, make her stop. Hey, snap out of it.
Okay, deep breath. deep breath.
Vas-y, Pep.
Your back, lungs, liver, nerves.
One moment, and then you're gone. Ah, and there's the fear.
Lungs, liver.
Arrêtez, madame!
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Fuir.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Sortons d'ici.
Lungs, liver, nerves.
Je fuis.
You turn and run,
Je me casse.
doing your best to put
Ça sert à rien, de
one
toute façon.
useless leg in front of the other. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs,
You poor, poor thing. Wrong choice.
Ça m'intéresse pas.
Get nowhere.
Ah non,
before
ok.
the princess is in front of you once again.
You're always going to be a coward.
Nerves, heart. She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down.
Ah oui.
You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath, like a creeping mold. The complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your
Ouais, mais partez hein,
existence
d'ici, hein.
hurts them.
Moi, ça me dérange pas.
Let me out.
Oui, non, mais
A lonely
allez-y.
soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
Oui, c'est à droite, à gauche et
A
tout droit.
reprieve, a good life, love, children, a steady career, recognition from your peers. Here,
Let me out.
diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Crise
Let
d'angoisse.
me out.
Crise de glisse.
This is all too much. I can't
Ah, ça y est.
keep going.
Le narrateur, ciao.
You can't keep going. Well, what are you talking about?
Il ne vous répond pas.
Oops, I think I broke you.
C'est la deuxième fois que le narrateur il se casse.
I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Votre corps est mort, mais vous continuez de vivre. Le moment de vérité. Chapter 4, 5. Oula. Putain, j'ai 20 minutes. Le moment de clarté.
You're on a path in the... Shit. What the hell was that?
Je peux finir le jeu en 20 minutes là ou pas?
What are we doing?
Ceux qui l'ont fait. Oui? Ok, go.
There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I...
Si je lis aucun dialogue. Ah, ça c'est chiant ça.
Haven't you?
I guess it feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. Slay. We
C'est
decided
pour
not to do
l'oxyre.
that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. That's really
L'opportuniste.
the only way this works out for us. If you think about it.
No, we were supposed to
L'obstiné.
keep
Ah, y a
her
tout le monde
trapped
là?
there forever,
Ok, y a tout le monde.
I think.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times
Ah oui,
do
du
I
coup,
have
nous
to
aussi on est
make
complet, elle est
snuff
complète et
out
nous aussi on est
you?
complet.
Be unfeeling.
De
Oh,
traquer.
there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've
Traducteur.
already
Oui, y a
tried
tout le monde.
everything.
We love her,
Les prix.
so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts?
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
Parce
This
qu'on est
is
aussi
bad.
nombreux.
You need to get a grip.
Ah, lui, il est encore là,
What
lui,
did
par
you let
contre.
happen? How many times have you been here?
Ils sont tous bizarres. On voit une bonne question. Juste, on peut pas aller avancer vers le chalet? Si.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest,
aussi save pour reprendre
bumping
plus
against
tard. Ah!
unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually,
Ah oui, là.
you
On peut save. Ok.
no, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's
chalet.
always supposed... Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always
Ah voilà,
lies.
il ment le narrateur.
He always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. She's still here.
Pourquoi il veut pas qu'on regarde le miroir?
Inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose. They've been heard too much.
Tu les as trop écoutés.
It's why they are the way. Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is... Or you could just give up.
Vas-y, vas-y, go.
You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to smash
Moi je suis pour, hein. On n'a jamais, quasiment jamais...
She's on the other side. And we have
Le résigné. Ah, le résigné, c'est mon préféré un peu. S'il faut suivre une des voies, je suivrai le résigné.
Just go around it. Just do something. It does.
Avance.
Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more... That's a new one. Do you think it'll... Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decision. It already has worked. It's gone.
Il y a juste le miroir est parti, il y a juste la dague.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty. The only object of note is a pristine
L'âme immaculée enfoncée dans la terre.
dirt floor. The blade is your implement.
Votre instrument, vous aurez besoin pour accomplir votre quête.
It's the only way for...
Prends-la. Vous avez oublié, vous avez déjà tout essayé. Prendre la lame. Vous devez prendre la lame.
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do,
pas de lame.
The ground beneath it shifts. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring back at you.
Un sentiment d'horreur.
It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
There you are. My toy has finally come to finish its job.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
You dragged this out for so much longer than you had to.
Closer.
But it was always just a matter of time.
And closer.
You are going to have to stop running eventually.
And closer.
Everything stops running eventually, except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back.
Ouais, je te donne tout, je te donne tout.
And what's left is for you to take my will and let me out. It'll be so much fun, you and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever
Vous et
we
moi
go.
ensemble, nous allons parcourir le monde.
A witness.
Non, ça j'ai bien compris ça.
I can even make you a little cage if you want.
Non.
Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your powers so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand.
Mon bureau il vibre. C'est pas. Attends, c'est une manette? Je pensais que c'était une manette, mais non, c'est juste Eclipse qui ronronne. Oui, c'est ça en plus, ta JPP. Lui prendre la main et lui rendre sa liberté. Un moyen d'arriver à une fin. Vous avez une autre identité un jour.
You extend your hand to hers.
Viens là, bébou.
For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way.
C'est bon. Viens avec nous.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
La bamboche.
I didn't think I'd be so tired.
La princesse a l'air au bout de ses forces.
Why is it so cold?
Pourquoi il fait si froid? Il y a combien de princesses maintenant? Avec le DLC? Gratos? Vous l'aurez jamais, il est temps de partir.
She's gone.
Elle a disparu.
I can finally think of...
That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked
Elle va se
away.
volatiser
just
exactement
like
comme
it
elle.
will be gone.
Oui, allez, salut les voix, hein.
Finally.
Allez, les bizarres, là.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
What do we say, boys? One lap.
Yeah.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to...
Allez, on y va. Allez, salut, vous m'avez saoulé. Vous approchez du nouveau miroir, il se cache tous les secrets, les mystères.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line.
Vous atteint le terminus.
I don't feel bad. It feels... the fear's gone. I'm done fighting.
Ah, ça y est, il se résout.
My heart feels... what the game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm
On se débarrasse de
ready
toutes les voix.
for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
Ça veut dire qu'il y a d'autres voix encore. On n'a pas vu toutes les voix. Il n'y a rien. Je suis rien. C'est impossible, vous ne pouvez pas être rien. Regardez plus attentivement et vous finissez par la voir. Une silhouette cachée dans l'ombre, juste derrière le reflet. C'est moi?
I think you know what I am.
Je suis une poule. Une fissure apparaît au centre du miroir. Ah, on va enfin pouvoir passer à travers le miroir. Une autre fissure se forme, et une autre, et encore une autre. Il y en a 23! Wow, ça donne envie de refaire des runs, hein. Vous êtes le narrateur, je me demandais quand je vous rencontrerai enfin.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me.
Mais moi, le narrateur, ça m'intéresse pas. Moi, je veux voir la waifu. Souffrez-vous lorsque les fragments de vous se
It
désintègrent?
doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
Faites-vous partie de moi?
I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action.
J'ai un tas de questions. Non, pas vraiment. C'est comme un fragment de vous était détruit.
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
Je peux pas lui poser autant de questions que je veux. C'est quoi cet endroit?
Construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was
Retenir
done.
ici jusqu'à que notre mission soit
And it was
accomplie.
supposed to
Pensez
guide
vous
your
guider
hand
pour
to help
m'assurer
you
que
see
vous alliez
things
jusqu'au
through.
bout.
The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into your waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to
Oui, mon
work
chat,
like
qu'est-ce qu'il y
that
a?
anymore.
Oui, t'es belle. T'es belle, mon ronron. Oui, oui. Clips. Vous êtes quoi?
I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all. and
Oui,
I'm
tu veux
what's
des
left of
papouilles. On
me.
fera les papouilles après
Not that I'm the
l'OPSP,
only one who can
Eclipse.
make that-
Bien d'autres. J'ai pas envie de vous détruire. Est-ce qu'on peut encore éviter ça?
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
Ça a toujours été le même?
And that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it will, but you'll be awake soon.
Vite, j'ai plus que 13 minutes. Vite!
Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final.
La princesse contient le concept même de mort en son sein. Toutefois, je vous ai insufflé toutes les capacités nécessaires pour l'anéantir. Vous devez l'oxyre. Libérer le monde de la mort et de la souffrance. Ils sont au courant de tout ça, les
Of
autres?
course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them?
La mort de l'auteur. Retrouvez-vous à court de questions. Reposez-vous en paix, je vais l'oxyre. Mentir.
Are you lying?
Je l'aime pas, le narrateur.
I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Dans les morceaux de miroir se désintègrent, vous percevez avec une acuité accrue. Tout cela, c'est vous, quiétude éternelle. Vous êtes la quiétude éternelle, un nouveau Dieu très puissant. Donc vous ouvriez les yeux. Tout cela est à vous. Tout cela, c'est vous. Rendre au chalet. Une dernière fois au chalet. C'est vrai que les présents, vous n'avez plus rien à découvrir. Clips! Clips!
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Vous m'avez manqué aussi. Vous m'avez manqué aussi. Elle vous répond par une cascade de sourires. Je suis la quiétude éternelle.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me
Nouvelle
the
masse
shifting
changeante.
mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Et c'est vous l'écho?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of
Quoi, c'est le
death.
narrateur?
Pay him no mind. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me
Non.
and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to
Non, on va faire plus qu'un. Oxyre, non. Jamais de la vie. Il est temps pour nous de quitter cet endroit. Une autre solution. Je refuse de croire que mes seules options soient de vous détruire ou de vous laisser sortir. Si vous êtes destiné à devenir ainsi, quel était l'intérêt que je fasse tous ces chemins? Je ne peux pas faire ça. Nous devrions discuter, j'ai encore beaucoup de questions. Vous n'avez pas eu votre mot à dire. Non. Il doit y avoir une autre solution, je refuse de croire que nous sommes... Non, mais juste on part ensemble. Pour nous de quitter cet endroit.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
On va tellement refaire une run là, je sais pas quand, mais genre la semaine prochaine ou dès qu'on peut. Le corps d'une ancienne créature sort de son hibernation et une sensation jusqu'alors imaginaire, inimaginable, Envahis vos membres. Tout ce qui se trouve ici et qui n'est pas elle n'est autre que vous. Vous sentez vos ailes, dont l'envergure est celle d'une galaxie recroquevillée extrêmement... Le verre à la création se referme sur vous, vous en serre de tous les côtés, par tous les angles possibles, vous le repoussez de toutes vos forces. Mais le verre résiste.
I love you.
Lui prendre la main. La tension se libère. Allez hop! On part avec la waifu.
It's magnificent.
Nous ne sommes plus qu'un. Que va-t-il se passer maintenant? Avancer vers l'infini.
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Et hop, on se casse! Un millier d'aubes et de crépuscules qui en contiennent chacun des milliers d'autres. Vous existez et vous êtes doués de conscience. Il s'agit de la vérité immuable. Et dans votre nature d'entrer régulièrement en conflit, vous n'êtes jamais la solitude ni la peur. Vous êtes enfin à votre place, tous les deux. Allez hop! Bon, on a eu une fin sur les je ne sais combien. Eh bah. Oh, j'ai trop envie de refaire des runs là. J'ai envie de rencontrer toutes les princesses. Oh bah parfait, 45, comme ça j'enchaîne avec mon OP, avec les potes. On aura fait une belle journée. Dernier vers quelques pistes si vous souhaitez créer votre propre playlist. Masquer l'interface. Ah c'est mieux, ok. Terminer l'histoire, une première fois, vous avez également accès à la galerie. Vous pouvez y rendre. Souvenir numéro 1. La galerie est remplie d'indices qui vous aideraient à trouver de nouveaux réceptacles et d'autres interactions. Jouer à notre autre jeu. Ok, bon bah il y a